Hi, my beautiful people. Welcome to my channel. We are currently in April, and this is a time where the earth is waking up, the flowers are blooming, and we also recognize Earth Day on April 22nd. Although, if you ask me, every day is Earth Day. So, yes, I thought it would be a divine idea to design a jewel featuring the Earth symbol. I'll be using the kit that is available on my website to show you step by step how to make this accessory. And the cool thing about these jewels is that they can be made in any size to fit small or thick locks and braids. And since they are made with Japanese glass seed beads, they are also water friendly. Oh, and then if you want to have the full design pattern in front of you while you follow along, then I also have a PDF pattern on my website as well. All right, let's get started. All right, so we have our beading mat laid out. And I'm going to dump out these beads first. I'm not going to need all of them, so that's enough. All right, and then we got our stopper bead right here. Gonna take our needles out. Okay, and so the first thing we want to do is take some thread and I would say take about 3 to 4 feet. That should definitely be enough. I usually just measure it by the length of my arm to the middle of my chest, pretty much. So I'm just unwinding it. Okay, and then I'm gonna cut it. All right, so we want to take one of our needles and then pinch this thread so that, make sure y'all can see. Pinch the thread and just glide it right through. The needle hole is big enough to slide this thread through pretty easily. So, and then we want to grab this stopper bead right here and slide it down almost to the end, but we're gonna leave, I would say, like a 5-inch tail, and then go right back through the bead to lock it in place. All right. Now we can get started building the jewel. Okay, so we're gonna pick up beads for the first 2 rows, and we're gonna be picking up 10 beads total. So we got 2 green ones, and then 1 gold, 2 green, another gold, and 4 green. 1, 2, 3, 4. That 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to slide these all the way down to the stopper bead, just like that. All right, so this is for the first 2 rows. And now we're gonna pick up beads for the 3rd row. And this is the hardest part, but it's really not that hard. And once we get past this, everything else is gonna be super easy. So for this row, we're gonna grab green, green, gold, gold, green. And so first, we're gonna pick up the green. We're going to skip this first bead right here and go through the second bead. Pull the thread through. Just keep pulling and try to keep your thumb right there so you don't lose the bead. And then get it so that it's laying right next to that first bead. All right, now should look like this. and we're going to pick up another green bead. And so we're going to skip this bead right here. So I like to cover it up with my nail, pick up the green bead, and go through this next bead, and make sure you're only going through that bead, that one bead. Then pull the thread. You can drop your needle if you need to drop it. And then pull that so the bead is laying next to this bead. All right, and then we're gonna skip this gold bead. Skip this one. And we're going to pick up a gold bead. Go right through that green bead. Pull the thread. And now it's laying right next to that gold bead. And now we have another gold bead. We're going to skip this green one. Cover it up with my nail. Pick up another gold. And go through this gold bead here. And make sure it's just that gold bead. There we go. And then pull the thread so that it is laying next to that green bead. Right there. It should look like this so far, and then we just have one more bead to add, and that is going to be a green bead. So we're gonna skip this one, cover it up with your nail if you can, and then grab a green one. Make sure you do not go through the stopper bead, just the last green bead. Pull the thread, and the third row is done. Should look like this. And now, once you have gotten this done, everything's going to be easy. We're going to be picking up 5 beads every row. All right, and so for the next row, this is our 4th row. We're going to be picking up green, gold, gold, green, green. All right, so greens first. Just one. And you're just going to go right through that bead that's sticking out. Pull the thread. If this thread gets caught, just get it out the way. Finish pulling. Now we have gold. Right through that next bead that's sticking up. Now we have another gold. That bead. And then 2 more greens. Green. And then green. And then at the end of each row, make sure you pull it really tight so all the beads stay together. And you should have something that looks like this. All right, this next row, I'm gonna do green, green, gold, green, and then one more green. And now it should look like this. All right, on to the next row. We're gonna do green bead first, right through that first bead. And then gold. Then a green. Gold. And one more green. Then pull the thread tight. And this is where we are. Okay, so for the next row, we're going to do a green one first. Gold. Another gold. Green. And then another green. And one more green for the last one. All right, for the next row, we're going to do green first. And then pick up a gold. Another green. Green. And then the last one is gold. Pull the thread tight. And we are almost halfway through the design. All right, so we're gonna grab a gold one first for this row. And then green. Another gold. Green. And one more green. And for the next row, we're going to do green, gold, green, green, gold. So we got the green. Pick up a gold. Green. Another green. And then gold for the last one. pull both threads tight. All right, and now the design is halfway through. All right, for the next row, we're going to do a green first. And then we got a gold bead. Another gold. Green. And then one more green. All right, next row, we're going to pick up a green one first. And then gold. And then a green. And then gold. And then this last one is going to be green. And yours should be looking like this. All right, this next row, we're going to do green again. Another green. Gold. And then two more green. Pull tight. Okay, for this next row, we are going to pick up a green one first. And then a gold. Another gold. And then two more green. All right, we are almost there with the design. All right, this next row starts off with green again. And then another green. And then we got a gold. And then another gold. And a green. Right. Looking like that. All right, and then this last row is going to complete the full design. So we're going to start off with a green. And then we got a gold to finish off the triangle. Another green. And then 2 more green. All right, so the full design is complete. And if your locks are really small, like micro locks, sister locks, then you can stop right here and skip to the part where I show you how to weave the ends together. I have a small lock right here, and then I have a thicker lock, and I'm going to end up making the jewel about this size. But I'm going to show you if your locks are around this size, then you can stop right here, and then it'll fit. Just like that. But I'm going to keep on beading a few more rows so I can get it to fit around this one. See, it doesn't fit. Okay, and so the rest of the rows are going to be the same thing over and over until you get to the length that you want. Okay, so we're going to do green, green, gold, green, green. And then the next row is going to be all green going down. Pull the thread tight. There we go. And then the next 2 rows is going to be the same thing. So the first row is going to be green, green, gold, green, green. And then the next row is green, 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 green. All green. Two green, and then a gold, and then 2 more green. Pull that tight, and then we're going to go back down with all green. Go, pull it tight. Now it's looking like this. And I'm just going to keep doing that 2 green, 1 gold, 2 green, and then all green back down until it's long enough to fit around this size. Okay, so the jewel is now long enough to fit around this size lock. See? And now we just got to weave the ends together. So first we're going to take off this stopper bead, just slide it right off, set it to the side, and then we're going to take our other needle and thread this end. Just like that. All right, make sure everything is tight. Do one last little pull. And then you just want to fold it. Hold it like this or like this. And then you just want to zigzag back and forth through the beads that are sticking up. See, some beads that are sticking up on this side. Just go back and forth through the ones that are sticking up. Just keep zigzagging. Make sure you do not skip a bead. You should go through 5 beads on each side, so 10 total. And then this last one. There we go. And now I'm just gonna move this thread over to the side. And then we can grab our other needle. And now we're going to zigzag back and forth. Just make sure you go through every row. And make sure you just move the thread out the way so you don't end up tying a knot if that happens. See, like that, I just move the thread over the needle so it doesn't tie a knot. And then one more. Now, you can take both ends and pull tight. One time, both sides, pull tight. You should feel the beads like line up. All right, and now we're almost done. We are just going to weave back and forth. Up and down. I would say do it like 2 to 3 times maybe. So I'll go up. And then before I finish going back, I'm going to go back down through one bead that's next to it. And then go back up the way I was going. And this is really just to make sure it's super secure and never comes loose. Keep on going through to the other end. Boop. And then I'm gonna go back one more time. And then just pull it tight. Now I'm gonna go back down with this thread, just like I did on the other end. Now we can take this needle off. Pull both ends one more time, super tight. Now you can take some scissors and cut the thread off right against the jewel. Now we can try it on. All right, so we can go ahead and try it on. I made it to fit this lock right here. And then I have one that's a little bigger on this lock. And so you just take the jewel and slide your lock right through it. And if it's kind of hard to get it on, you can also use a bobby pin or a beater tool to slide it right on. And then just adjust it how you want it to sit. You can leave this jewel in when you're swimming. You can leave it in when you're styling your hair, when you're washing your hair. You can pretty much wear it every day if you really wanted to. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you make this jewel, definitely tag me. I would love to see it. Until next time, peace.
Keep on moving on.